A very good afternoon to all. Today, our topic is obstetrical importance of pelvis. First of all, we can study about pelvimetry. Pelvimetry means it is the assessment of dimensions and capacity of adult female pelvis in relation to the birth of the baby. And this was used to make decision whether to conduct natural, operative, vaginal delivery or Caesarian section. Timing of the pelvimetry, that is beyond 36 weeks. There are mainly two types of pelvimetry, clinical pelvimetry and imaging pelvimetry. First of all, while assessing the pelvis, we should assess the mobility of the coccyx by attempting palpation and attempt to move it and fro. Normally, in a normal pelvis, the coccyx will be mobile. Coming to the sacrum, we should assess the shape and curvature of the sacrum. Usually it is concave, but if it is a flat or convex shape, this indicates anterior-posterior constriction throughout the pelvis. Normally, last three vertebrae of anterior surface of sacrum can be palpated, but in the case of contracted pelvis, the entire anterior surface of the sacrum is readily accessible. Next is measurement of diagonal conjugate. Diagonal conjugate is measured from the lower border of the pubic symphysis to the sacral promontory using the tip of middle finger and the point where the index finger of other hand meets the pubis. Normally, it is 12.5 cm and it cannot be reached. And if it is felt, we can assume that the pelvis is contracted. In the picture, we can see how to measure the diagonal conjugate. From the diagonal conjugate, we can calculate the obstetrical conjugate. Next, we should palpate the pelvic brim. For this, the fingers, mainly index and middle fingers, are moved along the pelvic brim. Note whether this is round or angulated, causing fingers to dip into a V-shaped depression behind the symphysis. Next, we should assess side walls. Normally, side wall is straight, convergent or divergent, starting from the pelvic brim down to the base of ischial spine. Normally, almost parallel or divergent. Coming to next assessment, that is assessment of ischial spine. Normally, ischial spine is blunt and it is difficult to identify at all. But when it is easily felt, that is prominent or large and encroaching on the midplane, very prominent, which shows a contracted pelvis. Next, we should assess interspinous diameter. If both spines can be touched simultaneously, that is interspinous diameter is 9.5 cm, this will be inadequate for an average sized baby. Subpubic angle. That is, normally this is assessed by placing a thumb next to inferior pubic ramus and then estimating the angle at which they meet. Normally, this is 90 degrees and it will admit two fingers. Angle less than 90 degrees, this contracted transverse diameter in the midplane and outlet. This is the way to assess this intertuberous diameter. Here we can see that the angle of subpubis angle is 90 degrees. The next is we should assess the bituminous diameter. This can be assessed by placing a fist between the ischial tuberosities. An 8.5 to 5 centimeter distance, that is 4 knuckles, is considered to indicate transverse diameter. This is the way to assess this intertuberous diameter. And this is the way of estimation of subpelvic angle. At last, we can conclude that for an adequate pelvis, diagonal conjugate should be greater than 11.5 centimeter. Symphysis sacrum should be of average thickness parallel to the sacrum. Sacrum should be hollow with average inclination. Sidewall should be straight. Ischial spines should be blunt. Interspinous diameter should be greater than or equal to 10 centimeter. Subpubic angle 2 finger breadth of 90 degree. Bituberous diameter 4 knuckles or greater than 8 centimeter. Coccyx should be mobile and pelvic brim should be round. Thank you. This is all about the pelvic assessment or obstetric importance of pelvis or pelvimetry.